My soul is awakened, my spirit is soaring, and carried aloft on the wings of the breeze. Hello, my dear students, to the online class of English 2. Today, we are going to start with a new poem, that is, Lines Composed in a Wood on a Windy Day by Anne Bronte. This is a very special poem because it has been written by one of the greatest female writers from the Bronte family. So without any delay, let's go on a stroll with nature and awaken our souls in the words of Anne Bronte.
Lines Composed in a Wood on a Windy Day by Anne Bronte. My soul is awakened, my spirit is soaring, and carried aloft on the wings of the breeze. Around me, the wild wind is roaring, arousing to rapture the earth and the seas. The long withered grass in the sunshine is glancing. The bare trees are tossing their branches on high. The dead leaves beneath them are merrily dancing. The white clouds are scudding across the blue sky. I wish I could see how the ocean is lashing the foam of its billows to whirlwinds of spray. I wish I could see how its proud walls are dashing and hear the wild roar of their thunder today. So students, before beginning with the poem, let's have a quick glance at the life and times of Anne Bronte. Anne Bronte, the youngest of the three Bronte sisters who are very famous for writing English classics. Her two elder sisters, Charlotte and Emily Bronte, have written two very famous classics. And this very poem is from a book of poetry, a collection of poems by Currer, Alice and Acton Bell. So these three Bronte sisters wrote collection of poems under androgynous pen names. Now here I want to draw your attention on the word androgynous. So what is androgynous? Androgynous is that type of style or names that can be used both for males and female poet. The title is very self-introductory and explanatory. When you read the title, it is obvious that the poet only wanted to write few lines of poetry when she was surrounded by nature, that is the woods. The woods here is considered as a forest also, and on a windy day. Here, windy day, the phrase holds the utmost importance because it gives us a sense of imagery and also sets the mood. The poet has used this phrase both literally and figuratively. So, it can also be possible that not only the day is windy, but there is a wind of change, freedom and of chaos inside her, and she might have related with the breeze flowing outside, that is in the woods. So this poem is a lyrical poem. Now, what is a lyrical poem? In a lyrical poem, the poet expresses his emotion and feeling, and basically these poems can also be sung because they follow a rhyming scheme. In this poem, it is AB, AB for all the three stanzas. This poem consists of 3 stanzas of 4 lines each, and structured into three parts. First stanza is expressing how the poet's spirits soar high like the wild wind around her. The next stanza creates an imagery of their surroundings, the trees, the leaves, and even the grass, as to how it reacts to the strong wind. The last stanza, however, let us know that although the poet is very joyful because of the wind, but still craves for the sea waves and the roaring ocean. So let's start with the explanation. I'll go with the first stanza first, and then I will explain the first two lines of the poem. So let's start. My soul is awakened, my spirit is soaring and carried aloft on the winds of the breeze. Here, the poet introduces the first part of the poem, or these are the introductory line of the poem. Further, the poet says that just as the wind rises from the ground and touches her is a poet. Here, she feels as if her spirits rises with it, and she no more feels any tiredness. She is very happy and awakened, as if her spirit has started to fly the wings of the breeze. So, we see that the poet is very happy here, as the winds are, so she is also feeling the same happiness with the winds. For above and around me, the wild wind is roaring, arousing to rapture the earth and the seas. So here we see the two lines meaning. Over here, the next two lines of this stanza is a description of the nature as well as atmosphere around her. The wind is so loud that it sounds as if it's roaring to create an emotion of happiness and joy both in the earth and the sea. Here we see the meaning of the rapture. You can underline the word rapture. Rapture means great happiness. So here we can see that the poet is very happy again, and she is showing her happiness with the emotion of wild wind also, and she is very happy as she is using a word to rapture. The long withered grass in the sunshine is glancing. The bare trees are tossing their branches on high. This stanza starts by describing the natural scenery around Bronte. Here, she creates a live image of a windy day at the woods. Here, woods is referring to forest. The withered dry grass is striking against each other and the poet's feet. The bare trees are those trees which doesn't have any leaves on it. So the bare trees, that means it is the autumn season. There are no leaves on these trees. They too are tossing their branches in the wind. The dead leaves beneath them are merrily dancing. The white clouds are scudding across the blue sky. So here, the explanation: the dead fallen leaves, because it's autumn, are also carried away in this breeze, and it looks as if the dry leaves are dancing. This metaphor itself tells us that the poet is happy, and like the leaves and the grass, she too wants to soar with the wind. It's such a windy day, students, that the clouds appear to move across the sky. I wish I could see how the ocean is lashing, the form of its billows to the whirlwinds of spray. Here, when we start with the third stanza, students, we see a shift in the mood, the tempo of the poem. Here, the poet introduces the pronoun, that is I, and starts to talk in the first person. Although she can experience the terrestrial beauty. Terrestrial beauty means here the land beauty. She still wants to see how the waves of the ocean looks and feels the whirlwinds, the spray of the ocean water on her face. So here the whirlwinds means the spray of the ocean water. Here the form of the billows means the white froth on the ocean waves. She has the great urge to experience a windy day on a seashore too. I wish I could see how its proud waves are dashing and hear the wild roar of their thunder today. So, these are the last lines of the poem. As I have already told you that Bronte wishes to see the ocean and its huge waves. Here, the poem ends with an unfulfilled desire, as we know, to experience a windy day on a beach amid the waves too. So student, with this we come to an end of the poem. Hope you have understood the poem and enjoyed also. So see you in the next video with the next chapter. Till then, stay safe, stay home.